Alright, so welcome back to another episode of Dasher Diaries as I go back out to work and do Doordash. And I think if you've seen the first one, you know that, I do this pretty much now for a living. Pretty much because I make pretty good money doing it, and I get to do it on my hours and my terms, and I don't have to wear a uniform and put myself in a suit or anything. But that's one of the reasons why I like doing it. So right now you're just going to come out with me and enjoy and see what kind of day I have on a Monday afternoon. And Mondays are usually pretty good, but I don't know, it all depends. Sometimes some days are really good, some days are kind of so-so, and some days I wish I'd stayed in bed. But I think that's the way with all jobs. And I do work this as, it's kind of like I do work this like a job, even though it's more like a business. I do work it like a job because if you don't treat it like a job, see, that's the thing. It's just like your hours are your own. So you like, it's like what I've said before to people. It's like, if I want to take a day off, I look in the mirror and go, "Boss, I want to take the day off." And the boss says, "Well, okay, but if you don't work today, you don't get paid." And I go, "Yeah, I know that." So it's just much easier to go. And I do, like I said, I do pretty good for 4 or 5 hours, and I'm out. And it's a lot of fun. So right now we're just headed toward what I call my nest. It's a place that I go to that has several restaurants and a couple of like 2 or 3 grocery stores, like a couple of grocery stores and a drugstore. So it's a good spot for me to go to and sit and wait for an order, because there's always a huge chance, even when it's not so busy. Usually when something's, on those times where you think it'd be dead, I usually get some pretty good orders, and usually do pretty good. So come along with me, let's find out. Finally got my first order. It's from the Burger King over here on
Take the next right, then turn left.
Knudsen, well actually it's on Olive, but we took Knudsen to get here. And this is one of the more interesting locations, mostly because
Take the next left, then your destination will be on the right.
A good amount of homeless people that kind of congregate around here. So
your destination is on the right.
It's on the right. So I'm gonna park here, so that way I can just drive on out. But I'm always wary, because whenever I show up for some places like that, it's like, and this is not to sound cruel or anything, but it's like I always seem to get hit up with, like, do you have any change, any money you can spare a dollar? It's like, and I don't carry any cash on me, just for that reason, because I've had some people like I try to give money to, and all of a sudden it's like they either start asking for more, or all of a sudden I got 3 or 4 people asking me for money. So it's like, but this is just one of the things that it happens when you're out doing this. So I'm sure it happens when you even when you're not out doing this. But I'm here at the BK, so someone's gonna basically have it there. Wait, let me see what I'm picking up. I am picking up an ultimate melt bundle, which is probably the reason why I'm only getting paid $5.25, because it's not a huge order, which is just fine with me. We'll talk more about that later on in the drive, but I usually, like, depending on how much I'm getting paid, I look to try to see how much the order is. But better get inside BK and get this order. All right, so it's going to take me about 6 minutes to get about where I'm going, and I'm headed back across the freeway. Wanted to talk a little bit about the whole homeless thing, and I don't know, I don't want this to sound,
turn right toward Knudsen Drive,
what's the
then
word
turn left.
The word I'm looking for. I don't want this to sound mean or cruel or anything.
Turn left onto Knudsen
I
Drive.
have empathy
Take
for...
the next left onto Knudsen Drive, then turn left onto Olive Drive.
I have empathy for people who are homeless, but that's one of the things about this job is that you got to be very careful. Because some of the homeless people out here are mentally ill, or they're drug addicts or alcoholics, and some of them can be violent.
Turn left onto Olive Drive.
You know, and so you just have to have an extra sense of awareness around you, of all the people around you, because you know, if you like just let your guard down, someone could. I've actually had a couple of times homeless people try to accost me for money. You know, they were rather aggressive about it, and I actually had to like puff myself out and make myself bigger and look like I could actually kick the crap out of him, because
in 600 feet, keep left to stay on Olive Drive.
I don't want to fight anybody, but you know, I'm not gonna just
keep left to stay on Olive Drive.
I'm just not gonna lie down, and I'm gonna if someone comes after me, I'm gonna like fight back.
In half a mile, turn right onto Roberts Lane.
But that's where you got to be aware of the situation and what things are going on around you. You know, but a lot of the time they're asking for change, or right when we walked out of the Burger King here, there was a gal who was sitting right near the front door. I was like, can you just give me an ice cream? And I had to just, you know, just tell her, look, I'm working. But I don't want to sound cruel or anything. It's just, and I know this is going to sound bad, but there are just some days I would just like to be able to do my job without being harassed for money or for food. It's, you know, there are times where I have no problem helping out, but I'm, you know, I work hard for what I make, and much of what I make already gets spent when, you know, when I get it. It's like I've already got bills to pay. As soon as I get that money, it goes out to have to pay for this or pay for that. I gotta get groceries. I gotta pay, you know, I gotta pay for gas so I can work. It's a sad situation, but it's something that I deal with on a daily basis. And I don't know. Like I said, the best way I usually just handle a lot of these situations is, you know, is just be unassuming and be nice. Many of the people who ask me, you know, are, you know, they're nice people that are just, okay, thank you very much, sorry to bother you. But yeah, I've run into a couple of occasions.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Oildale Drive.
I've had a couple of occasions where I've actually had to get pretty aggressive back with people who got aggressive with me, and it's not fun.
Turn left onto Oildale.
Howdy, howdy. I got to pick up for Kylie.
We'll be right with you.
All right. So we are here at Popeye's Chicken for the next order. Oh, it's right there? Well, that was fast. You guys must have been ready for me.
Yeah, it actually came in this time. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't until we get here.
So YouTube channel is appreciating. So,
awesome.
If you don't want to be on camera,
We're good.
oh, we're good.
Have a wonderful day,
guys.
guys.
You too. Thanks a lot. All right. So that was fast. They actually had everything ready for me this time. Sometimes you get to a spot and it's like, well, we haven't gotten it yet, or we just got it and we still have to make it. This time it was like they had it ready for me when I got here. That's always perfect. A lot of times I hear about dashers who are like griping about how they're not getting, you know, big tips, or they're not getting tips, or they're not getting a certain amount of money for the orders. And I can kind of agree with that in a way, but I kind of take it like order by order, because I've always been raised that you tip according to how much you're spending, right? If if you're like, let me just put it like this. If I am picking up a Happy Meal, which I know is like $6.50, and I'm getting paid $3 for it, well, I'm getting paid almost 50% for that order. And I know that's kind of like, you know, people are like, oh, $3, you know, I don't do anything, you know, unless it's above, you know, a certain amount. And I get that, I understand that, but you also have to realize that, you know, you're getting paid based on the amount of food you're delivering, and that's the way I see it. However, there have been times, and I mean, and I've had
it. Mile, keep right at the fork.
And I've had
signs for California 204
I've had it happen more often than not, where I get a order to pick up like pizza at a certain place, and I'm only getting paid $2.50, and I'm like, oh well, okay, I'm right over here. I might as well just, you know. And I go to pick it up, and it's like, and I'm picking up like 5 pizzas and 2 orders of breadsticks and a big old order of wings, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, you're spending like $50, $60 for me to deliver all this food, and you're only going to pay me $2.50? And a lot of times I kind of think, well, you know, maybe I'll get a big tip, because that's happened to me too. I'll get a big tip when I go drop it off, you know, at the house. And
keep right at the fork.
Of course, that doesn't happen. I drop it off, and they're like, oh, thank you. And they take off. So I get paid. Right. I get paid $2.50 for delivering a $60 order, and I just think, and I think a lot of us are just kind of like, you know, if you're gonna order this much food, you should really, you know, compensate the driver that's bringing it to you. But again, I mean, I had an order just a couple days ago where I got paid $3, and all I was picking up was a Big Mac meal, and I'm like, okay, I know how much this is. This meal is like $10, $12. I'm getting paid, you know, 30%. I'm not going to argue with it, because, and I'm not even going that far, so I can understand that. I do things by, you know, by the amount of the order that I'm picking up. But I do feel that for some of you people out there who are like, oh, I'm not going to tip them anything. Well, one of these times it's going to, you know, it may take a while for your food to get to your door, and it might be cold, and, you know,
in half a mile, turn right on Daff Street,
because you thought that, oh, I'm not going to pay him anything. I'm not going to pay him anything to deliver my food. It should, that a lot of us drivers are kind of getting sick of this. I'm just kind of like voicing my opinion right now. So one of the benefits of doing this is that I just finished a delivery picking up Wiener Schnitzel for a client, and as we were there, my trusty companion Logan over here said, ooh, chocolate strawberry shakes and sundaes.
Yeah, they were chocolate covered strawberry.
And I was like, yeah, can we get one? Go ahead. So sometimes when you're out and about doing this, you find some really good stuff to try and eat. Don't always try and eat it while I'm out, but sometimes when the opportunity arises, it's really fun to try out some of this new stuff. This is actually pretty good. So you can get the shake through the straw. That's the only thing. You get the shake through the straw. Back to my spot, my nest, after I just had another delivery. It's been a kind of a lazy Monday, which is kind of something I like. It's like, it's busy, but it's not like hectic busy. It's like I've been getting, you know, and that's kind of day I like. It's kind of where it's like it's busy, but I'm not running around and I'm not going too far. Everything, well, I have most of my deliveries, I've handed it to people, which is unusual because a lot of times it's just walking up, leaving it on the door. But I've had some. I've had a lot of people. I've been delivering to some businesses today, which is really good. You see here, one of the reasons Flamin' Skewers, Wingstop, Chipotle, Carl's Jr. There's a McDonald's over there. There's a Vaughn's over here. There's Albertsons down the street. There's CVS right over here. So it's like, this is always, and then there are a couple of other restaurants over here. There's a Thai restaurant and a ramen restaurant, a pizza restaurant over here. So it's always, you know, it's always nice to get in a good central location to just kind of, and sometimes, you know, I could sit here and be here for maybe like 2 minutes and get an order, and sometimes I've been here for an hour. But this has always been a pretty good location for me to get some orders. So right now it's just waiting for the next one. So it's been relatively a good day. The orders have been, you know, pretty frequent. Haven't really had anything, you know. I think the only stressful thing that happened was I had to wait for one of the soda machines to kind of.
They said the soda had to prime.
Had to prime. It was
because I think it was out of syrup or something.
Yeah,
and so they had to get a new box of it, and then they had to wait for it all to mix and prime.
Yeah.
And that took about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So, you know, and those are just, I mean, those are just kind of the things that happen. They're out of your control. There's nothing you can really do except just to kind of like wait and, hey, you know, I think your machine's stuck, and they have to come out and take care of it because you don't want to touch it. You don't want to be responsible for anything that might happen to the restaurant's equipment. But we got enough time for one more order, and then we're going to call it an afternoon. I guess it's been a pretty good day. I mean, the orders have been pretty steady, and the money's been pretty decent, so I don't have very much to complain about. So we just got our last order of the shift, and we're going over here to the new Frugati's location. They moved locations from the old one to the new one, which is not actually not that far away.
No, they're just down the street.
Just down the street, yeah. But it's a new location. It's a bigger location. I get a chance to see it for the first time, and yeah, this is going to be nice. I'm looking forward to coming here and taking a look at it. And sit right here.
Here it is.
Your destination is on the right.
I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to get on back because I just hit the freeway. So I'll be right back. This happens. Here we go. Takeout. This is where I gotta go. This must be where I gotta go. Takeout.
And what kind of bag is that you got there?
This is my new catering bag. I had to get I qualified for doing catering for bigger orders, but I had to get a bigger bag to do it in. So it's been really helpful.
And this is because you're a Platinum Dasher?
I'm a Platinum Dasher now, which is like, you know, it's the new thing aside from like being a Premier Dasher or Top Dasher. It's like, now it's like, you know, I'm a Platinum Dasher. I just basically just qualify for a lot of the same things. All right, so I finished my dash for the day and made some pretty decent money. Time for me to take a break, go gas up, and get ready for it. I might go back out and dash tonight, depending on how it all works out. But it's always a good day, you know, when I'm able to get out of the house, you know, get some work done and make some money in the process. So for right now, if you want to check us out anywhere else, you can catch us, our podcast, our Instagram, our TikTok at withkoji.com/travelbynature. If you want to help out the channel, give us a big thumbs up, like it, give us a comment, makes us smile. We have memberships that start at $4.99, go to $7.99 and $9.99. Check us out there. But with that being said, as we close this out for Travel by Nature, as we do another Dasher Diary, please be safe, drive carefully, be mindful of others on the road, and please take care of yourself. I'm Goose from Travel by Nature. Have a good day.